Sometimes the most memorable scenes are the ones that are completely real. No special effects, no stunt doubles, just pure, unadulterated authenticity. From heart-pumping stunts to emotional breakdowns, these scenes have moved away from the supposed fiction. In these unpredictable moments, where actors are only simply trying their creative parts or simply following the director's right-in-the-moment lines, magic was born. From accidental injuries to unscripted surprises to unrestrained emotions. How did these moments turn out for the movies? Join us as we reveal these shocking 15 movie scenes that were completely real. Number 15, Django Unchained. Leonardo DiCaprio's real injury scene. Leonardo DiCaprio's memorable role in Django Unchained was praiseworthy from the outset, but an on-set incident actually made his performance an iconic piece of Hollywood history. The 2012 Quentin Tarantino epic was a critical and commercial success, accruing over $400 million worldwide and featured many of the director's greatest tropes, including historical revisionism. DiCaprio played the despotic enslaver Calvin Candy. So in the heart of Quentin Tarantino's visceral and unflinching saga, Django Unchained, a moment of unplanned reality heightened the intensity of an already gripping narrative. The scene unfolds as Leonardo DiCaprio's character, an unforgiving plantation owner, delves into a heated exchange at the dinner table. The tension escalates until DiCaprio, so engrossed in his role, smashes his hand against a glass. Laying his palm flat on the tabletop, inadvertently shattering it, the glass cuts his hand, causing real blood to flow. Yet in a testament to his commitment and the immersive power of his performance, DiCaprio did not break character. Instead, he incorporated this unforeseen injury into the scene, pushing the boundaries between actor and character, reality and fiction. This incident did not merely add a layer of authenticity to the scene, it transformed it into a visceral exhibition of raw emotion and physicality. The blood on DiCaprio's hand wasn't just a special effect or a makeup artist's creation. It was real, making the stakes of the scene feel all the more immediate and genuine. This unexpected turn of events did not derail the scene. Rather, it enhanced the tension and gravity of the moment, offering the audience an almost palpable sense of realism that few films can claim. The impact of DiCaprio's real injury reverberated beyond the screen, creating a buzz among audiences and industry professionals alike. It spoke volumes about his dedication to his craft, willingness to push through physical pain, and his ability to improvise under unforeseen circumstances. This moment, a blend of planned narrative and unscripted reality, not only defines Django Unchained as a film, but also stands as a testament to the unpredictable and sometimes dangerous nature of immersive acting. It reminds viewers that behind the veneer of movie magic lies the potential for genuine human experience, as raw and real as it gets. That wasn't the only time Leonardo DiCaprio was involved in a movie going off script, though. Number 14, Killers of the Flower Moon. Molly Burkhart's Scream scene, the haunting Killers of the Flower Moon scene, where Lily Gladstone's Molly Burkhart sits at the bottom of a staircase and lets out a devastating scream after learning that her sister was killed in an explosion, is one of the film's most affecting moments. According to cinematographer Rodrigo Prieto, it was unscripted. It was just unbridled emotion outpouring from her guts. Prieto, a longtime collaborator of director Martin Scorsese, believes the last-minute change came together because the filmmaker trusts his actors and they're a part of the process. Based on the non-fiction book by David Gran, Killers of the Flower Moon stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Ernest Burkhart, a war veteran who comes to Oklahoma in the 1920s to work for his wealthy uncle, William King Hale, played by Robert De Niro. Hale encourages Ernest to marry Molly, as her Osage family owns oil rights and could make them rich. Throughout the film, the members of Molly's family are murdered one by one, making it easier for Hale and Ernest to seize the head rights. So, when a bomb destroys her house in the middle of the night, Molly's sister Rita and her family are killed instantly. Ernest sees the house destroyed and tells Molly the news. But the scene wasn't meant to play out that way. Prieto spoke at Variety's Artisan Screening Series, where he explained that the shot Martin Scorsese had designed featured a point of view entering the house through the doorway, and into the living room, where the family, maid, and kids were waiting for news, which was the shot Prieto had prepared. That preparation was completely redesigned after Scorsese got Gladstone's input. The director asked the actor where she would be at that moment when she learned another member of her family had been murdered, to which Gladstone replied, "I'd be in the cellar." On the day of the shoot, Prieto had to check that the house constructed by production designer Jack Fisk even had a cellar. Luckily, it did. There's also a moment when Molly calls Ernest a coyote in Osage, and he has a quick response saying she must have called him a handsome devil. That exchange between Lily Gladstone and Leonardo DiCaprio was unscripted. Director and writer Martin Scorsese even kept in Lily's laugh after Leo's line. But what happens when the scenes move from innocent laughter to R-rated scenes? Do the actors simply back down? Let's find out. Number 13. Christine DeBelle and Juliet Graham in Alice in Wonderland. In this provocative R-rated adaptation of the classic fairy tale, Wonderland is reimagined as a surreal landscape for Alice to navigate her burgeoning sexuality. Initially conceived as a hardcore feature, the film's producers boldly cast several established adult film stars, pushing the boundaries of on-screen eroticism. Although the final product was slightly toned down for wider release, the movie still boasts numerous unfiltered love scenes, including a particularly racy encounter between Alice, played by Christine DeBelle, and the Queen of Hearts, who was portrayed by Juliet Graham. In a revealing interview, Graham confirmed that her intimate moment with DeBelle was entirely genuine, leaving no doubt about the authenticity of their on-screen chemistry. Given the film's explicit content and the participation of adult film stars, it's likely that DeBelle's other scenes in the movie were also unsimulated. The film's struggles to find distribution are hardly surprising, considering its daring and unapologetic approach to exploring themes of sexuality and desire. This 1976 adaptation of Alice in Wonderland remains a fascinating and controversial curiosity, offering a unique blend of fantasy, erotica, and psychological insight. By embracing the surreal and the sensual, the film creates a dreamlike atmosphere that continues to captivate audiences and inspire debate. Number 12. Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg's body doubles in Antichrist. It's clear from the very first scene that the affection in this movie isn't the kind you can fake. Let's just say it gets very up close and personal. Instead, the only question remaining is whether that's actually Willem Dafoe's equipment or not. The answer? A resounding no. Both he and his co-star were in happy marriages at the time, so they had body doubles come in for the steamier scenes. Even so, what you see on screen is still very much real. Just not with the faces you think. Although, to be fair, the mountain of explicit content isn't even the most jarring part of this surrealist horror film. So as you might have guessed, Antichrist is one of those love it or hate it movies. Roger Ebert calls it the most despairing film he has ever seen. Jeffrey Wells brands it a fart bomb. Movie Line's David Bourgeois says it's the most original and thought-provoking work von Trier has done since Breaking the Waves. Variety's Todd McCarthy, who must have been seated in the same row as Wells, says the movie cuts a big fat art film fart. Our favorite reaction, though, is from the Times' Manola, movie killer Dargis, who Ebert says he heard singing "That's Entertainment" as she left the theater. Number 11. The Spy Who Loved Me. James Bond's ski jump scene. In the realm of cinematic stunts, few can claim the sheer audacity and breathtaking beauty of the ski jump in The Spy Who Loved Me, a standout moment in the James Bond franchise. This iconic scene unfolds amidst an adrenaline-pumping ski chase, a signature element of the Bond series known for its blend of elegance and danger. As Agent 007, pursued by relentless enemies, races down the snowy slopes, the audience is treated to a spectacle of speed and agility. The crescendo of this chase is not just a testament to Bond's suave survival skills, but also a moment that would etch itself into film history. The real hero behind this death-defying leap was stuntman Rick Sylvester, who stood at the precipice of a towering mountain, ready to perform a feat that would leave audiences gasping in awe. With an expert from the company that sewed together the parachute by his side, Sylvester embarked on a journey that would showcase his unwavering courage and skill. This was not the work of movie magic or special effects, but a genuine display of human bravery as Sylvester hurtled down the slope, launched himself into the air, and relied on his parachute to bring him safely to the ground. All while cameras rolled to capture this incredible feat, the film crew held their collective breath, knowing that there would be no second takes. The successful execution of this stunt required a harmonious blend of timing, precision, and a bit of daring luck. As viewers watch this iconic scene, they're not just witnessing a character escaping danger. They're seeing a real moment of cinematic bravery, a testament to the lengths filmmakers will go to bring their visions to life. The ski jump in The Spy Who Loved Me is a masterclass in stunt work, a symphony of human skill and technological precision that continues to inspire and awe audiences to this day. The planning and execution of this stunt were a monumental challenge in themselves. The film crew had to wait for the perfect weather conditions, a window of opportunity when the skies were clear and the winds were favorable. Multiple cameras were positioned to ensure that every breathtaking second was recorded, capturing the raw emotion and intensity of the moment. The impact of this scene extends far beyond the realm of cinema, inspiring generations of stunt performers and filmmakers to push the boundaries of what's possible. It's a reminder that even in the most high-octane moments, there's always room for innovation, creativity, and a bit of daring luck. As we watch Rick Sylvester soar through the air, parachute deployed, we're witnessing a moment of cinematic history, a testament to the power of human courage and the enduring appeal of the James Bond franchise. The Spy Who Loved Me is considered Roger Moore's best Bond film and one of the very best in the Bond franchise. Number 10. The Godfather, Marlon Brando and the Unscripted Cat. The opening scene in The Godfather is iconic and epic. Creating epic movies involves a lot of moving parts, including the actors, music, production team, and other important pieces. Some of the best scenes are not scripted. From lines to props, the actors and directors depend on what feels right to be able to create the perfect scene. The Godfather was released in 1972. The iconic film involved the family dealings of the crime family based in 1945 New York. Vito Corleone is the head of the family, and all decisions are run by him before any action is taken. From new girlfriends to help with movie careers and investments, Vito controls it all. When he refuses to invest in a narcotics deal, the plot thickens. After an attempted assassination, Vito's son takes over the family business. After Vito's death, the new family head, Michael, plots the killing of the 5 family heads, and the War of the 5 Families begins. 10 years the war has lasted, causing political, financial, and legal repercussions. After many deaths, including Vito, the ending leaves families in pieces and some unanswered questions. In this iconic movie, Marlon Brando's Vito Corleone is unforgettable, partly due to an unplanned co-star, a stray cat. The opening scene of The Godfather contained one element that no one accounted for. This iconic opening scene, dark and brooding, is transformed by the spontaneous inclusion of the cat, which Brando found on set. As he strokes the animal, a subtle layer is added to his character. The cat's calmness contrasts with Vito's intimidating presence, symbolizing his dual nature, tender yet formidable. This unplanned element not only showcases Brando's adaptability, but also deepens Corleone's mystique. The cat becomes a metaphor for his unpredictable power, making this unscripted moment one of cinema's most memorable, illustrating how sometimes the most impactful scenes are those that are completely real and unplanned. After the success of The Godfather, the story continued with The Godfather 2, The Godfather 3, and a recut version of Mario Puzo's The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. The franchise lived on with iconic lines in the conclusion of the epic crime story. Video games and a miniseries continued their fame and fortune and can be heard quoted by many still today. The stray cat, however, did not return for the sequels, as the death of the character Vito eliminated the need for the softness. Number 9. Pretty Woman. The jewelry box surprise scene. Now, one of the most famous romantic comedies of all time, Pretty Woman, directed by Gary Marshall, came out in 1990. It stars Julia Roberts in one of her most recognizable roles as Vivian Ward, the kind, good-natured Hollywood sex worker. When Vivian is hired by a wealthy businessman, Edward Lewis, to act as his girlfriend for the week, the two end up falling in love. Well, in this enchanting world, a moment of genuine spontaneity between Richard Gere and Julia Roberts not only captivated audiences, but also became one of the film's most endearing scenes. Set against the backdrop of a blossoming romance between a wealthy businessman and a spirited escort, the film navigates through layers of emotion and transformation. The jewelry box surprise scene, a testament to the film's authentic chemistry, was never scripted. It was a pure, unanticipated moment born from Richard Gere's improvisational genius. As Gere's character Edward presents a stunning necklace to Roberts' Vivian, he playfully snaps the box shut on her fingers. Roberts, caught off guard, bursts into a peal of heartfelt laughter. This reaction wasn't acted. It was a real response to an unexpected gesture. Director Gary Marshall recognized the magic in this candid interaction and wisely chose to retain it in the final cut. This choice paid off immensely, as the scene resonated with viewers worldwide, symbolizing the film's blend of humor, romance, and authenticity. The inclusion of this unplanned moment did more than just provide a laugh. It added a layer of charm and relatability to the film. Audiences were drawn to the authenticity of the characters' interactions, making the love story all the more believable and endearing. This iconic scene stands as a reminder of the beauty that can arise from spontaneity, serving as a memorable cinematic milestone that continues to delight and inspire viewers to embrace the unexpected twists in life's narrative. Marshall explained that Roberts, just 23 years old at the time of filming, would often show up to set pretty tired in the mornings after partying at night. Marshall continued, "I said, Richard, you gotta wake her up a little, so when she reaches for the box, slam it. It was a soft box, I would never hurt her." Marshall, with the editing team, then decided at the very last minute to include the laughing scene in the film, and it fits perfectly as a silly moment between the two love interests before the camera cuts to Edward putting the necklace on Vivian. Number 8, Barbie Ken's sublime scene. There are so many sublime lines of dialogue in the Barbie movie. However, the one that a lot of us can't stop thinking about, including Margot Robbie, is when Ryan Gosling's Ken aggressively yells the aforementioned sublime after Barbie tells him she wants to be his long-term distance, low-commitment, casual girlfriend. It turns out this moment of improv was actually the line that made the titular star laugh the most on set, and she gave a great reason why. If you look back at Barbie's reviews and reception, you'll see that Ryan Gosling's performance as Ken is one of the many hilarious highlights consistently mentioned. He really committed to the bit and embraced his Ken-ergy fully. So, as he played the character, he came up with hysterical bits of dialogue to throw in. Margot Robbie said she wasn't prepared for it on the day and started laughing. Looking back on filming the moment, Margot added, "I wasn't prepared for that. That wasn't in the script, and to this day, that makes me laugh." If you rewatch that scene, it's definitely going to crack you up every time. However, what can't be imagined is how much funnier it would have been to experience it live and without the knowledge that it was coming. Number 7, Little Women. I Love You, Joe scene. It seems obvious now after the 2018 success of autofiction Lady Bird, which earned 5 Oscar nominations, including the 5th nod for a woman for Best Director, that Greta Gerwig was the perfect match to write and direct Sony's latest movie adaptation of Louisa May Alcott's 19th century classic Little Women. But back in 2015, Gerwig was best known as a New York actress who starred in the giddy New York romantic comedy Frances Ha, which she wrote with partner Noah Baumbach. The newest film adaptation of this classic novel was released late in 2019. This movie is up for a handful of Academy Awards, including Best Picture. While this cast and crew is one that's pretty hard to ignore, this film was inspiring, stunning, and totally wholesome. For movie lovers, you might be interested to know everything that went into making this beautiful masterpiece. There are a lot of factors that go into making the final product that hits the big screen, and some of them would never be known to moviegoers. One of those moments was when Laurie and Joe have their conversation on the hill, where Laurie continually interrupts her with, "I love you, Joe." All of those weren't in Greta Gerwig's original script, but were added by Timothée Chalamet while filming. When you read Greta's script, you can see that Joe was simply meant to just say everything uninterrupted to Laurie after he confesses his love. But in the finished product, Laurie is consistently saying, "I love you, Joe." Well, let's say love worked out in the end, as number 6, Riverdale tribute to Luke Perry. In an emotionally charged episode of Riverdale, the cast came together to pay tribute to Luke Perry, who tragically passed away in 2019. Perry, known for his role as Fred Andrews, the father of the main character Archie, was not just a character in the show but a beloved figure on set. The episode, titled In Memoriam, wasn't just another storyline. It was a poignant farewell to both the character and the actor. As the town of Riverdale mourned Fred Andrews, the actors mourned Luke Perry. Their grief wasn't just an act, it was real, raw, and palpable. The show seamlessly blended reality with fiction, allowing the cast to express their genuine sorrow and respect for Perry. This was not just acting, it was a group of people coming together, sharing their grief and memories of a dear colleague. The tears shed by Archie, played by KJ Apa, and the rest of the cast weren't just for their on-screen personas, but were a direct outpouring of their personal loss. This authenticity resonated deeply with viewers, many of whom had grown up watching Perry in Beverly Hills 90210 and had followed him to Riverdale. The tribute reached beyond the screen, creating a shared space of mourning between the cast and the audience. Fans felt connected not only through their love for the show, but also in their collective remembrance of Perry. The episode stood as a testament to Perry's legacy, touching the hearts of viewers and cast alike, and leaving an indelible mark on the world of television. It was a genuine moment of farewell, a blend of art imitating life and life reflecting through art, making viewers realize the profound impact of the actors and characters they invite into their homes. Number 5. Inglourious Basterds, Diane Kruger strangulation scene. In Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, a scene that stands out for its raw intensity and realism is the one where Diane Kruger's character, Bridget von Hammersmark, is strangled by Christoph Waltz's character, Hans Landa. This moment occurs at a critical juncture in the film, as it serves as the plot's climax, with the characters' fates and the film's tension converging in a single harrowing encounter. The authenticity of von Hammersmark's fear and desperation is palpable, a result of Tarantino's controversial decision to strive for realism in a bold and unusual move. Tarantino chose to have Kruger actually be choked, albeit briefly and under controlled conditions, to capture a genuine reaction of terror and struggle. This decision was not taken lightly, and it sparked considerable debate and discussion about the ethics and safety of actors in film production. Kruger agreed to this method to lend authenticity to the scene, and while it resulted in a powerful and convincing performance, it raised questions about the lengths to which filmmakers should go to achieve realism. The genuine fear in Kruger's eyes and the visceral tension of the moment make the scene incredibly effective, but they also leave the audience contemplating the balance between artistic vision and the physical and emotional well-being of those bringing the story to life. This scene is a stark reminder of the thin line between cinematic artistry and reality, leaving viewers both amazed and uneasy about the sacrifices made for the sake of authenticity. Number 4. Mad Max Fury Road. The Doof Warrior's flamethrowing guitar scene. In the post-apocalyptic world of Mad Max, Fury Road, the Doof Warrior, an enigmatic figure, stands out with his flame-throwing guitar mounted on a massive vehicle bedecked with speakers. This character, clad in red, becomes the war party's morale-boosting herald, his music fueling the frenetic chase. What's truly astonishing is that the guitar wasn't just a prop. It was a fully functional instrument capable of shooting real flames as the musician played. The performer behind this fiery spectacle had to not only play music, but also operate the flamethrower, all while strapped to a speeding vehicle. This dangerous blend of performance and practical effects showcases the film's commitment to authentic, visceral experiences, eschewing digital effects for real, tangible stunts. The result is a scene that's both visually spectacular and genuinely thrilling, encapsulating the movie's raw, chaotic spirit. This daring approach to filmmaking invites viewers into a world where the line between reality and fiction blurs, leaving them in awe of the stunt's genuine danger and artistry. Number 3, Back to the Future. Part 3, in Michael J. Fox's near hang scene. In Back to the Future Part 3, Michael J. Fox's character, Marty McFly, faced a staged hanging that turned perilously real due to a rigging error during filming. The noose tightened unexpectedly, leaving Fox genuinely struggling for air. This alarming moment, initially mistaken for exceptional acting, prompted a swift rescue from the crew. The incident deeply impacted the cast and audience alike, sparking a crucial re-evaluation of on-set safety protocols. Despite the scare, the scene remained in the film, serving as a stark reminder of the risks actors undertake for authenticity. Fox's real fear and fight for survival in that moment added an unintended layer of intensity to the film, making it a memorable and cautionary tale in cinematic history. Number 2, Glee cast's tribute to Corey Monteith. In a poignant tribute to the late Corey Monteith, the Glee cast delivered a heartfelt and deeply moving episode that transcended traditional TV storytelling. The segment, which mourned both the actor and his character, Finn Hudson, was a raw and emotional expression of grief that resonated deeply with viewers. The tears and emotions displayed by the cast were not mere performances, but real and authentic expressions of sorrow as they collectively mourned the loss of their dear friend and colleague. This episode became a public memorial, allowing the cast, crew, and audience to come together and share in their grief. The authenticity of their sorrow created a profound connection between the show and its audience, highlighting the power of television to provide a space for shared human experiences. By blending reality and fiction, the episode offered a unique and touching tribute to Monteith's memory, making it a memorable and heartfelt moment in TV history. As the cast shared their real-life emotions openly and vulnerably, they bridged the gap between the audience and the screen. The episode became a cathartic experience, allowing viewers to process their own emotions and memories of Monteith's impact. The Glee cast's willingness to be vulnerable and honest about their grief created a sense of community and shared experience, reminding us that television can be a powerful tool for healing and connection. This tribute episode will be remembered for its raw emotion, authenticity, and heartfelt performances. It serves as a testament to the impact that Corey Monteith had on his colleagues, the show, and the audience. By sharing their real emotions and experiences, the Glee cast created a unique and memorable moment in TV history, one that will continue to resonate with viewers for years to come. Number 1, Saltburn. Infamous grave scene. The dark comedy psychological thriller has become a huge talking point since its December streaming release, and viewers are slowly discovering all the surprising and wild behind-the-scenes facts about those graphic scenes. Saltburn star Barry Keoghan has explained why the film's shocking grave scene was required. The film stars Keoghan as Oliver, a lonely Oxford student whose obsession with his rich classmate Felix and his wealthy family takes a very dark turn when he's invited to stay at the family's luxury estate. If you haven't seen Saltburn yet, the film contains a scene in which Keoghan's character, Oliver, makes love to the grave of his recently deceased pal, Felix. The scene didn't feature originally in the script, and it came about as a collaboration between Keoghan and writer and director Emerald Fennell. Speaking exclusively to Digital Spy about the improvised scene, Keoghan explained why he was so on board with doing the scene, which he knew everyone would be talking about. He explained that it was necessary to explore the character's actions further, as he was curious about the consequences of his decisions. It represented an escalation in obsession, and he was intrigued to discover how his character, Oliver, would react in such situations. Regarding his collaboration with Fennell during filming, Keoghan noted that they maintained an open dialogue, continually discussing and justifying their characters' actions and motivations. They would engage in debates, sharing their thoughts on what worked and what didn't, which demonstrated the high level of trust and mutual respect they had established. This dynamic allowed them to refine their performances and create a more authentic portrayal of their characters. Fennell herself has spoken previously about the scene, telling Variety, "If you're taken over with grief and horror and love and sadness, people do crazy things, and that's what this film is about." The film received generally positive reviews and was nominated for 2 Golden Globe Awards and 5 BAFTA Film Awards. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.